from break. Hope everybody had good holidays.
The boys are back in town.
That nigga said back from break like it's school.
Back from break.
Winter break, y'all.
How long did you take off?
Y'all went to Aspen? We went to Aspen.
We took like a month off.
Yeah.
Right? Like they probably just like did they break up? Like
So we took a break. Holidays. A lot happened over the holidays.
yeah.
Gary had his second child.
Hey man,
You know what I
come
mean?
on, that's a big thing.
Baby girl now. Are you gonna be one of them dudes now? I got a daughter now, man. I got a
daughter,
girl at home, man. Hey.
different.
Does it change? Does it change? Does it change your perspectives? Does it change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just saying but like, what's an example of like of change?
The things that you've done to women in the past, you don't want. You just see something. Actually, it changed on a lot of, like, women are disgusting. Like, absolutely, like, gross humans. Like, this little girl, she grunts all night, just like all night, 3 a.m. Nigga, they tell you that the poop. You've never seen like poop on a vagina.
Yeah.
But but the visual of it is like that ain't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
And it's like they poop, but that shit goes everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Like, and then there's so many flaps and crevices that you got to get in between and shit, and it's just cringe the whole time. You're just like, I don't wanna do this. I hate this.
I remember when you said that in the group text, and nobody ever said that. Like when it comes to like cleaning babies, nobody ever said it to me like when you have a daughter, it's gonna be different.
Oh, bro,
it's like, when you gotta wipe a kid, we gotta wipe a kid up. It's like, nah, that sounds horrible.
And then, but then the genital, when they're a newborn, the genitals are swollen, and I didn't know that. So for like the first week, I was like, bro, my daughter got a fat pussy, bro. This is gonna be a problem. This is fucking like it's the weirdest shit. I'm telling you, it's weird. It's fucking like no. I'm like asking Jess. I'm like, yo, is something wrong with her vagina? She's like, no, it's just their genitals are swollen. Like, but you got to get all up in there, and it's just cringe the whole time. And then she's kicking and screaming and crying like, dude, she's not giving consent.
Neither one of us.
But so doctors, like I said, I'm the only one. I know I don't have a child yet. Doctors don't be like, all right, these are the things that are probably going to be at the beginning of the stage. They don't tell you.
Nah, they tell you like, I don't know about him. Like we were just told, if you have any questions, hit us. Like they don't give you a sheet of like they're just like, if you're concerned about something, then hit us up or ask or whatever.
These things like because I would like that right there would concern me immediately too. Like I would be like, if I saw it, I would be like. Yeah, most look like that. Yeah. Most daughters and most girls probably have a swollen vagina, so don't be alarmed. They're gonna probably be doing these type of noises when they're babies. Don't be alarmed. And stuff like that. And it's just like I think that should be in the doctor prep, my nigga. Like we're paying a lot of money for insurance. Help more.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I feel like.
The only thing they really have is like lactation consultants who come in and they're like, oh, she does that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's dope. That's
Yeah, she came over and like helped her do the whole.
Oh, okay. Patty breastfed?
For both of them.
Really?
For over a year.
Oh shit! I had no idea.
They
don't seem like breastfed babies.
Well, I remember you said Keelan is sickly as hell. So.
And I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
So waste.
That's what I was like.
They both did a strong.
Formula.
14 months.
I'm a formula baby. Dog.
Yeah, you're a formula baby.
I don't know why. I got one that's sickly and one that's short. And they both had the nutrients they needed.
But the thing, I think the formula babies get bigger. Like the steroids, the MSG of the the chemicals in there, it bulks them up.
I was a small kid though. My brother was huge. My brother was a big baby. So, and I think he was at least breastfed. I don't know. I feel like they just on me. They was like, all right, this whatever.
Keith
you want to know something crazy?
He wouldn't latch. Which makes sense.
Yeah, and women lose their mind over all that shit.
It just makes sense that he was difficult. He's just difficult.
Yeah, I love Keith, man. That's my boy, bro.
That's my best friend.
You know what's crazy though? Because the titties get bigger when they're breastfeeding. Yeah. And naturally, like as a man, it's like, yo,
I did the first time.
I'm on them titties. Yeah. I'm on them titties. But the funny thing is, dude. The funny thing is, like her titties be like full, like. ready to fucking explode. But as soon as I jump on them, like nothing comes out.
Oh, you haven't tasted it?
I've tasted it, but like nothing. Like when they're full and the baby comes, like and the baby cries, like something happens like chemically, and the motherfucker's just gushing out milk. Oh, wow. Yeah, but like I come in there with my 30-something-year-old mouth and shit, and I'm sucking on them. They're like, nah, nigga, we ain't giving you. So like, the titties know. The titties know who need the milk. Yeah.
Well, I think they say it's
in the saliva.
Like in that picture, you see the picture where they show the like if your skin was see through and the breast see through, like what's happening in there. I think it is a connection. Like I'm on some Avatar shit. Yeah. That ain't for us.
It ain't for you.
When you think about it, is that why they have the braille bumps on the nipples? So the baby can kind of figure out.
I don't know.
The braille bumps.
By the way, watching a baby try to find a nipple is
the funniest shit ever. It's the funniest shit ever.
Like, nigga,
and the little noises.
Hilarious.
I was telling Jess that's what babies do. Like before Pilot was born, she's like, "There's no way that they do that." I'm like, "Bro, they're all the time."
Shit ever. Cause they can't. And sometimes they miss, so the nipple be like.
And then they latch on, and they suck. And they suck hella hard, but then like as soon as they fall asleep, you try to pull it out, the motherfuckers be like.
That shit be hella funny. Man.
It's kind of actually dope how the human body, especially for a woman, like
it's incredible.
As much as we kind of clown and we be talking about Rosen, it's like with women and stuff like that. It's like a woman's body biologically for to match with a baby like that. It's beautiful.
That's why I don't
far
understand
superior.
How people shit on breastfeeding. Yeah, I'm like, nigga, this is literally what your bodies are supposed to do.
Hold on, people are shitting on breastfeeding?
Yeah, like people be like, well, public breastfeeding.
Oh, public breastfeeding, yeah.
And I'm like, nigga, this is what we do.
That says more about men than it does about
the thing women. Is, a lot of women have a problem. It's weird, bro. It's weird. Like, I understand. One thing I don't understand it from either. From women's side, I don't get it because you should understand as a woman. Right. And on the dude side, it's like, nigga, a titty's out. Shut the fuck up. Like, enjoy yourself.
Yeah. So but it be them creepy dudes.
I don't get it on either side how anybody has, like, when dudes are complaining about breastfeeding, I'm like, nigga, what is your problem?
Maybe they're complaining from a standpoint of, like, they don't, maybe if they're with a child or whatever, they don't want their child to see something like that. And
I think it's just, I'm
just pushing to see.
I think it's probably like a lack of self-control. They're just like, I don't need to be seeing that now. I'm at the club.
I'm gonna go to start sucking your titty myself. But it's just like, if that's you, you need to be.
Well, they out there. They out there.
And then the women, that really shocks me.
I think the women are like, they don't want their men looking at it.
Probably.
They're like, I don't want my man looking at that big, juicy,
veiny ass.
Juicy.
Veiny, though.
Oh, they be veiny as fuck. They be veiny. I love every one of them veins. I count them too. 1, 2, little spider webs.
Sometimes I used to feel bad when I would see her pumping and them hard ass big. I used to feel bad. Like, I know that shit hurt. Like,
it's funny. I wasn't a titty man for a long time. I really didn't care. And then
you ain't seen no swollen pregnant titties, nigga. Shit.
I like them more now.
And the nipples be on.
Yeah. Looking like a bullet.
Nigga, they be like, somebody suck this. You'd be like, well, I'll tap in.
I guess I'm here then, man. But yeah, it does like, would you say like the whole, does it make you appreciate your ladies more?
Hell yeah. After my first baby, I was like, I remember when the day Keelan was born, I was like, this woman will never want for anything in her life. Mm-hmm. Like the day he was born, I was like, nigga, for what you just had to go through with my child, even if we don't make it, you're good.
Yeah.
Like, and then you had another one. Then you double down.
Yeah,
you're good. You're. I don't understand people who don't. I understand being a deadbeat dad. I guess I don't know. But it's like, I can't imagine seeing what they go through carrying children and not having a back after that.
Yeah, and giving grace. It's hard.
That shit weird.
I mean, because my girl got an epidural. So I don't have that same level of respect.
So dumb.
It's just
when your
there's levels to it. You know, she was kind of in and kind of out of it. She wasn't, you know. But
full on natural, then I'll be like, all right, I gotta do all this stuff for you. But since you
that's horrible. I would have bought your house if had you not got that epidural. Had you done it naturally.
But you wanted to be a weak bitch. Not get it done.
Yeah, I mean, like carrying the baby, just the changes and just the shit they go. I was like, you good.
I told Janelle that I was just like, you know, because we were discussing, you know, I think we want to start like getting in that space this year, and I was just like,
what does that look like?
What do you mean?
Yeah, when people
like
say
get
that,
into that space, what does that mean?
Like actually start
not pulling out.
Yeah. Essentially that. Yeah. But also too, like there's like I said, she wants to kind of like travel and stuff first, and you know, I talked to other people, and they were like, and it's weird because I'm just like, I thought Cash was just like busting and you had a kid, and it's like some people were like, nah, nigga, it's hard.
Yeah.
To like, just like, some niggas actively seek to have a child, and it's difficult to get their wife or lady pregnant. And
because they're doing what you're doing. And then the pressure starts happening. When you say we're gonna do this and then we're gonna plan, you can't. You just gotta shoot the club up, nigga, and then whatever happens, happens. Like when people be trying to plan out their lives,
right.
It never goes that way. Like,
got you.
And even your relationships, when you try to plan everything, nigga, that shit fucked. Like you just gotta go and then hope for the best.
Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like we're gonna start like, all right, you know, November's the month. It was just like, all right, cool, like pretty much like, don't worry about pulling out, like, you know, just like you can finish pretty much however you want to finish in a sense. Yeah. And it was like I was talking to, I won't say the person's name, but I was talking to this person and he was telling me, he was like, bro, he's like, it was difficult. You know, he's like, we were on a schedule. This time, I'm ovulating at this point. She had that ovulation clock going on, shit like that. Then he's like, once we stop. Like literally, like a day or two, it's like she got like it happened at that particular point.
When they stopped worrying about it.
Yeah, he said we stopped worrying.
And you carry stress, and you're
understandable,
and you're not even having sex for like I really believe that babies are born out of like love, like a good time. Yeah, like when it's a job, when it's like, all right, hurry up, we got this time. That ain't right, nigga. Like.
And that's another thing too. He was telling me, it's like, yo, he was like, it starts to become a chore. So even for you, you might even have trouble even getting up at times and enjoying it. And you're just like, all right, man, I just want to finish and do it. And all right, cool. Sometimes even when you don't. Normally,
we got the microphones on though, so I don't think it's gonna pick up.
At least pick up too much. But like, it's like, he was saying pretty much like it's, you know, when it becomes a chore, it's like sex starts to become like not as fun.
Right.
And it was just like, I don't want it to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? As much as I love it, so it's like, it's one of those things like we're kind of actively kind of going now.
Yeah.
You know, she knows when she's exactly ovulating. I thought I was like, it made me think about fuck niggas, like terrible dudes getting girls pregnant. I'm just like, yo, in most cases they said you can only get pregnant in the small ovulation window supposedly. Yeah. So these women, I'm like, yo, are you more responsible than the guy is because he don't know when you're ovulating? You know when you are. You could probably be like, busted in me this week ain't the thing. Come through next week and do this, but until then, I just give you some head.
Well, the problem is
it's hard to gauge.
The problem is one, it's hard to gauge, but two, during that ovulation time, when they're the most horny,
right?
So they're not thinking and chemically and biologically, they're actually trying. Usually, fuck niggas are physically what you would want to breed with, and so.
What are you talking about? Like they good looking dudes?
No, but just like so I watched the whole thing on it because I'm a pervert.
It's a documentary.
Yeah.
About fuck niggas?
No. About it was called The Anatomy of Sex.
Okay,
it was a docu-series. I watched all of it. And so basically, when they're not ovulating, that's when they want the guy who's gonna be there and nice and sweet.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to ovulation, it's about survive. I need my child to survive. I need the biggest, strongest, thug it. Like I just need my kid to come from some genes that's gonna be like, if shit goes south, my child's gonna survive. We're not doing that on purpose.
Gotcha.
But that's how we survive this long as humans. You're trying to be with the biggest, strongest man, whatever. And a lot of times, the guy that everybody wants to fuck.
Natural selection.
Yeah, the guy that everybody wants to fuck, he ain't the
it's
nice
the same
guy.
Dude.
He ain't it's the same nigga.
Got access to all the pussy.
So that's what it is.
There are some nice guys that are good guys in the sense where they get chicks and stuff like that. But that's an interesting point to just be like, you know, man, she's like, this guy is great. When she starts ovulating, she's just like, man, Gerald, get the fuck out my face, man. Where Jamal at this bitch?
Jamal come there 6'3", ain't shit, nigga.
Yeah. Dog her out, and then be like, she comes back, see, I just don't know why he treats me this way. It's like, man, she was just ovulating. And it's just like, yo, that's the crazy, that's kind of a crazy biological thought process.
The shit we do as just humans that we don't know is wild, bro.
Fascinating.
It's crazy. They proved they was showing all this shit. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
How we walk, how we act, how we dress.
Do you think if that information was out there more dudes would understand and be like, I'm just gonna catch one off there?
I think more people would catch themselves in general if they knew what we were doing and why we were doing it.
Got you.
Even when it comes to looking a woman up and down, like that's science. We're not doing it intentionally to be perverts.
Yeah.
It is everything is about, because people, if you take
for the best breeder.
If you take religion out of it, we're all trying to breed with the best possible person.
Right.
So that's why people be fucking. So like naturally, when a dude's looking a girl up and down, he's not looking. Yeah, we're looking like ooh them titties, but in reality, the science of it is the first place we look. Like women think we actually look at their titties first. First place you look is the hips.
Yep.
You're gonna see how many kids she can have. Then you go to the boobs. Can she feed my kids? Then you go to the face. What are my kids gonna look like?
So what about white guys? Because they
I don't know what
they don't be looking at hips a lot of times.
I don't know what their standards
They be looking at them titties.
But they're looking. That's what they stare. But if they put these where they can read your eyes.
Yeah.
And it's not long. It's just like when a woman walks in, it's real. It's so fast that he probably didn't even know he looked there first.
Yeah.
But that's the first place we look every time is at the hips. And they did it like they did several guys. Every single one of them, first place at the hips. Hips, boobs, face.
Fascinating.
And it was like, that's why they look up and down. Now, when you start staring, that becomes what you like as a man.
Right.
But biologically, boom, 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 every time. And I was like, this shit is crazy. How we dress, and just everything we do, this shit's wild. And I was like, man, and we don't even know that we're all doing it every day. Our decision making, all that shit.
That's kind of fun. That's kind of funny because it's usually conflicting. Like everything don't usually match up. Like hips nice, titties nice, face nice. It's always like you're gonna get scrambled up at some point. You know what I mean? Like a short circuit. Like hips to
Yeah, that's. I mean, I kind of wish that those kind of like sex ed classes at that point were broken down more in that way.
Yeah.
Instead of like, just like this is how you safely do these things. It's like from a biological standpoint, it's like this is why you kind of view this way, so we can kind of understand at a young age. It's like, all right, I'm not crazy, I'm not weird,
right?
Whatever.
I think we should do that.
I don't know.
Because as kids,
I don't trust it.
Because as kids, you're just like, why am I so fucking horny? Or like,
I don't trust it.
Like we don't know anything. We don't know why we're acting this way.
You know, it's a difficult thing. You still talking about teenagers, nigga. Anything sex for a teenager, niggas gonna weaponize and try to use that to their advantage.
They're gonna be immature about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be really immature. You're not gonna get the same.
I think it would be cool to know why you do stuff.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people want to know why. Like, why am I acting like this? Like, why am I being this way? What am I?
Because it was confusing when you're younger and you're just like, all right. Let's say you're just even watching something, just like, why is my dick is always getting hard and everything now? And it's just like you get to a point where, I guess I never dove into it, but now that I'm older, I'm kind of thinking back, like, damn, like, was I feeling a certain way, or was I, whatever? Because it's like I just wasn't understood. Like, I feel like if we talk about it, it was like I was overly sexualized. Not sexualized, but like I was overly sexually stimulated at a young age. Right. My dad put a lot of that stuff on us early, like in the sense of like, these bitches, nigga, fuck these old, and we probably at a younger age than we should have been. We're like kind of like observing stuff that we probably shouldn't be observing, and it's just like, I guess to bring it back to something. Do you think we're over sexualizing? We live in an over sexualized culture right now, even younger now, when it comes to like these kids and what they're being put on to, like, especially with the internet.
I don't know, because when you're on Instagram and people be like, yo, the 80s and 90s was wild. When we go back to what we were looking at and what we were doing, it just, you be like, damn, like, nigga, the cartoon characters on X-Men were stacked.
Oh,
nigga.
Rose and Storm were built.
Like, so stacked.
But here's the thing though. And I remember they put it was like a clip of Rose, but she was like slid over.
Nigga.
I was like, ah.
But guess who was my favorite X-Men? Rogue. Like as a woman,
Storm with mine. Yeah.
Rogue, I used to be like, I would tear her. She was a cartoon.
And that's the thing. So I ain't gonna lie. I remember watching the X-Men cartoon. I would get boners over fucking Rogue and Storm.
And what would you do about those boners?
At that age, I didn't know what to do with it. I used to be like, yeah, this is how you get hard. Yeah, you're hard. And I would just be hard, like, yeah, I'm fucking hard. I didn't know you put the jag off.
I don't know. It is kind of funny. You don't really know how to jag off.
Super pause. But I remember the first time I did masturbate, I was like, man, this shit is stupid. Like, I was watching the porno.
Oh no, yeah, no, you're right. And I don't know how to do it either.
I was just like, why do dudes keep jacking off before they, bust on a girl's face? Like, why? I'd rather have you do that shit. Like, instead.
And then you learn.
And then I went to
they don't know how to do that.
I went to the bathroom. I was just like, man, this shit is stupid. And I was just like, what's happening?
Right.
I was just like, this is what this is? And I was like, I'm doing this tonight. I made an appointment, nigga, with myself that night.
After my first one, I went on a bench for like 2 weeks.
Yes, nigga. I was like,
that's all I was doing.
I was like, this is incredible.
Weeks, nigga. Just not every chance I got. Like,
you had your own room?
A day, huh?
You had your own room?
Well, what happened was, we had our own room, but I was the first one home from school.
Oh, okay, so you get out the way.
Like, after we got out of school, I had to go back to school for practice. But during that break, Keith wasn't out yet, and Kyron wasn't out yet. I would go home, do it after practice, shower. I was out of control for like 2 weeks. That's just all I did.
I love that you said that because I didn't know what to do either. Like, because the bare skin was just too rough.
Right.
So I didn't figure it out. My first time like masturbating to completion was I used like a velvet cover, a velvet blanket, because that shit was so soft.
Yeah.
And that shit had me. I was nigga. So, bro, it was bad. Nigga. There would just be dry like spots all over because I was like, I'm a kid. I'm disgusting.
Yeah.
I would just masturbate. Soil that up, nigga, find another spot all over until my mom washed it. Until my mom went to the laundromat.
Wait. So I know at a young age, my brother and my dad had us like washing clothes, doing dishes, mopping, do all this. Like, I think around like 9 years old, we were already washing our own clothes. So like, my mom
was washing the linens. So I would have to wait. Yeah, we weren't washing the linens. We washed our shit. Yeah.
So we had to wash everything. We had to wash our sheets, everything like that. So I know that's why at a certain point in time, I didn't care to bust all my sheets and blankets. I was just like, I'm gonna wash these anyway. Right. So when I had wet dreams, I was just like, okay, cool. I'll just wash.
I was a bathroom nigga.
Oh hell no! You hella clean. That's too clean. right in the toilet.
At night, I was in my room.
That makes sense for this nigga.
Yeah. But I was back.
I don't like the cleanup.
Well, back then you got to clean up anyway. Because I remember the first couple times I lost it. I didn't know where it went.
Oh, okay.
So I never had that happen before.
I remember the first time, bro. I was like, oh, what is it? Like, nigga,
something about Mary type thing.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I don't.
Wow.
So I couldn't find it. I was like, oh, maybe I flushed it. Maybe some closet. I didn't know. They go weeks later. We're cleaning the shower, and I pull the shower curtain
loogie.
Back, the bottom of the shower curtain, nigga.
Oh, shit.
Crusted, nasty, nigga, just.
Damn.
And I was like, oh, that's where it went. So nigga, it jumped over the trash. Behind the shower curtain.
Oh, you saying it jumped like it hit the ground and bounced?
No, it shot over the trash.
Oh, okay. Correct.
Like, that was back when you could shoot for miles.
Busting buoyant fucking nuts.
I missed that. I ain't gonna lie. I missed
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. These nuts now are sad.
Are so nice.
They're so
nice
sad. They're so sad.
I was never really a shooter for real. I can every once in a while, but I was never like an active shooter. Like
I'm talking about pulling as soon as I step in the gym from
distance.
Half court, nigga.
Curry.
Steph.
Nigga, like, we used to try to see. Like, nigga, I'm on the end of the bed, be like, back up.
That's funny.
I was shooting.
That's funny.
Nah, nigga, I'm a layup nigga.
No, now it's
I'm a dunker, nigga.
That's funny.
Wherever I'm doing it, that's where it's going.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore. Easy cleanup now. Light work.
Oh man. Yeah, that's crazy. But I do definitely feel like if we were more sexually educated, But I do feel like this generation is more sexually exposed, or at least has more sexual action.
They're not educated though. They just
not educated for sure. But they're definitely like Twitter porn is just like it's so easily accessible. It's crazy. When I was on Tumblr, I don't know, you probably wasn't on Tumblr like that, but Tumblr was like another social media site, and that's where you would go. You was able to go there and get like watch porn, good amateur porn too. Like Tumblr porn was some of the best porn in the game, and essentially Twitter porn took a lot of that and put it on. Yeah. And they put it on Twitter, but it was just
Twitter wild, bro.
Twitter's crazy, and it's just like you could be any age and get access to that, and that's just like I can't imagine if I was like 16 years old. Like I had friends that like their kids, like they're able to access porn on their phone because they have a cell phone, they have a smartphone, and they're like 10, and that's scary to be honest.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know what it does. If it heightens the sensitivity to it, or do you become, or does it desensitize? It's like, oh yeah, that's titties, whatever.
Well, I mean, do you feel like porn's desensitized? Because I mean, like even at days that I'm at,
it can if you binge hard enough. You binge hard enough,
bro. I had to step back at times because I was like, I mean, I talked about it before. I think talked about it before on stage like that too. But I feel like I had an addiction. It made it just.
That's what I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, my addiction runs in my family, and I remember being like, damn, all right, dad was addicted to drinking. Mom was addicted to drugs, and I was just like, I don't have any addiction. I was like, wait a second, nigga, I was addicted to porn, and it's just like, there was a point in time where it's like, even after I was smashing a chick, I was like, all right, cool, and then I'd be like, I'm gonna go watch something.
Oh yeah, you had a problem.
And it was just like, all right,
oh yeah.
And even though don't get me wrong, I was still enjoying the real sex, but it was just like, yo, like I want to go rewatch that scene with Pinky. That she killed it in this thing, so I want to have that moment.
In your defense, I will say that
you talking about Mr. Market scene? No, that's Superhead. That's Superhead.
Yeah. I watched that several times.
Yeah, I just saw an interview with him recently talking about that too.
I had to see the hype. I was like, what is this? Who is this girl?
Yeah.
But I think in your defense, when all that stuff was popping, internet had just become the accessible. So we just had it. So he was like, well, I'm gonna watch everything because.
I remember the first porn that I was able to watch on the internet was a porn with this porn star named Obsession, and she's considered an OG legend. And I found it like on a Yahoo chat site. It was like you had to go to like Yahoo, and it's like a sex chat site, and then somebody had like a 1.5 minute clip of her just like getting like she getting like DP'd and then bust on her face, and I was just like, yo. This is crazy. And I was at the time, I already had like I already had seen like tapes here and there, but it was like my dad had tapes from like the fucking 80s and the early 90s, so they was hella bushy and shit. It wasn't necessarily the sexiest thing for me at the time. But.
DP has always been. Is DP considered slightly gay?
I mean, I don't like watching DP.
Is it sort of gay?
It's gay.
It's gay.
I think it's gay.
With DP,
it was obviously not gay. You're having sex with a woman, but.
Well, what's DP?
It's like a very thin. DP is double penetration.
Oh, well, I'm thinking DP. I'm thinking of
dog.
Okay, that's.
Oh no!
I know what you're talking about, and I've always been 100% against that.
Yeah.
Because I did a video on it. I was like, y'all niggas balls touch.
Yeah.
Your balls just touch, nigga.
And there's a there's a very thin membrane.
Is like that, nigga. Your penis is touched, bro. Your penis is rubbed against each other.
Or the guys that, and I think I was watching, I think it was an interview with Missy Stone on something recently, and she was talking about how, like, she said most male porn stars are gay, that the ones even that are supposedly straight, most of them are gay. She's like, most of the guys you guys like that are, like, famous, them niggas is gay. And she's like, any dude that would take, like, that that would do the double dick suck, like, would get, like, and I was like,
nigga.
I would never want my dick in the same.
I don't
care what's in her
by
mouth.
Me, bro.
No.
I remember this comedian back on Comic View. He was saying that he couldn't do an orgy or threesome because of that. He was like, because if a nigga get too close to me,
I'm gonna fight him or something like that.
But I'll never forget the joke of the way he did. He was like, is that your dingling print? Nigga, that's your dingling print. He kept saying dingling print. He was pointing at it. And I remember as a kid, nigga, being like in tears. Is that your dingling print? Is that your dingling print, nigga? And he was freaking out.
Yeah.
I wonder, I know, because I feel like this, this whole, I wonder what women would say, is that considered toxic masculinity in there?
What?
It's just like, wait, why can we have two girls and then you guys can't be with two guys? If you're not gay, you're not. That's always the thing too. It's like, if you're not gay, you're not gay. It don't matter if you're in the same room as a guy, whatever.
I didn't say something about that.
That's a good question.
But your genitalia can't be by mine.
Right.
What's the distance?
So
like,
so 6 feet.
So even though I have a great joke about it, I can't like you said, if one on the two ends, that's enough distance.
It's enough distance.
But now y'all looking at each other in the eyes.
And that's what my whole joke is about. Is like all that other. I'm like, nah, I still don't wanna. You know what I mean? I just ain't.
But the girl's supposed to be like her femininity and like her essence supposed to be that strong to keep the attention solely on her. Yeah. So though there's another man in the room, I'm on this right here. Like, I'm focused on this.
It's like if let's say even if you're hitting a chick from the back and she's sucking the guy's dick right there, you supposed to be focused on the ass.
Yeah. But if y'all do make contact, it's probably like, we slaying this. Like it's supposed to be like one of that energy.
I don't even want to think that you're here, nigga. Like you just.
That's why you just don't do it.
Yeah,
you
just over there.
You don't want to train over there.
Yeah. And I've had the opportunity to do all that stuff, and I pass every time. Every single time I pass. Like in college, when that shit
you run trains?
No, I've never been interested. Like I told you, my dad asked me to run one with him before. And I was just like, no, I'm not doing this. Right? Somebody's on here before. I thought we had a discussion before on here.
How did he broach the subject, nigga? I need to hear the whole. Hey, son, I got this little young thing.
I talked about this on stage too, but this is just a true story. He had just got home from Palm Springs with one of his buddies, one of his close friends, and they had just ran a train on some chick that they were messing with in Palm Springs at the time. And so he's telling me the story. He's like, man, I'm hitting her from the back. I'm pushing her on. I was like, yeah, suck that dick, bitch. You a nasty bitch. We just going crazy on this bitch. And I'm just, I'm just enjoying the story. And he's like, man, it'd be crazy if me and you did that. You know, we had a threesome. Bruh. And I was like,
bruh.
And I remember just stopping, and he kept going, he was just, you know how when a nigga talking to me, he ain't looking at you.
How old were you?
He's like, so, and I'm like, right here.
How old were you?
I was maybe 21 at the time, between 19 and 21 years old.
That's wild.
I was old enough. And my dad wasn't a sports guy. So we didn't necessarily bond over sports. He wasn't good. I beat my dad at basketball at an early age. Mm-hmm. So our bonding thing wasn't from sports. It was just women. Anytime it was always from women. Oh, son, you got this type of chick, whatever. And so that's how we did that. So
that's funny. Most dads play catch and then threesome.
Yeah.
So I remember I was like, what? I said, what? No, I wouldn't.
You didn't say it like that. You were 21.
I did. I was just because I was is that incest? I was confused. And then I was like, why would you ask me that? And he was like, I talked to Corey, and he was just he wasn't into it. I was like, so you came to me afterwards?
I'm second? Yeah.
I'm the second.
We gotta go to Otis first.
Yeah, it's just he's the oldest. And my dad had this conversation with me. He's dead. He's not joking.
That's what makes it so funny. He's like,
what's wrong with that? Wrong. That's what me and my dad did.
And so, here's the thing. So for him, he was just like, he said, would you? I was like, I would never have a threesome with my dad, or he's like, would you have a threesome with Corey? I said, hell no. He's like, you wouldn't want to have a threesome with your brother? He's like, what kind of nigga are you? What kind of nigga am I raising?
Like you wild. Like you wild.
That's what I was wondering if it went to there. Like, nigga, you a bitch. Well, I raised a bitch son.
He didn't say in those words, in that tone. It was kind of like, nigga, what kind of nigga would not have a threesome? This is there's a woman here. Yeah. It's about her. And that's how he saw it. But my dad was always been the guy who's been about women, about smashing as many women and doing these type of things and the experience of that. And I was just like, and then I had to have the thought process of my dad has taught me moves, been around to my moves, he taught me whatever case may be. It's how do I compete with this nigga?
That's where I was leaning to. I was like, were you slightly insecure and intimidated by?
Slightly, in a sense. All jokes aside, I turned that into.
It's weird. It's weird altogether, but
But for sure, I was just yo, how do I
fuck next to my dad?
And this nigga, because he will. Cause
at 21, that ain't your prime.
Yeah, but you think it is though. You think it is.
Sure.
Because you think stamina is everything.
Yeah.
Right. And at the end
of it, for 2 hours.
And my dad is doing all the particular moves, trying to purposely. I can see my dad trying to show me out, but
right.
My dad would be like, all right, nigga, you pimping, bro. I'm Jordan of this shit.
Right.
And it's you ain't about to outscore me on the pussy.
Right.
It's not happening. So. Good luck.
Damn.
And the last thing I want to do is be on the sidelines and he's still smashing damn, you couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
I know my dad, he wanted to get, when he was saying it too, he's just trying to get a chick around 25, it's kind of younger, not too young.
Oh, he wanted you to get the girl?
In a sense, or he was we can kind of even even get a chick, you know what I'm saying?
So he was trying to use you to get young pussy.
My dad can get young pussy.
Okay.
At that time. My dad was still a handsome guy. He was cool. But it was if anything, if we were to do that, he didn't want to run a train on an old bitch. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to run a train on a girl that was like 25.
Got the energy.
Yeah, it's just like maybe even 30, but it was like around that particular age range. So yeah, I mean that was essentially. I was just like, nah, like I couldn't. I was baffled.
Did that fracture? Did that fracture the relationship moving forward?
No, we can talk about it now. I still talk about it with him now.
What the hell
is he remorseful?
No, nigga. Why would he do that?
Because I thought he would have grown and learned.
No, my dad just like, nigga, I still don't see why you was wrong.
That nigga is a sitcom father, nigga. There will be no growth.
Oh my God. If my dad has found God, he's bigger than Jesus, but like he still has that. He can still tap into that nigga still.
Yeah.
Who I call Big Game James. It's like he still taps into that, which is like, man, I was getting the problem. I mean, if you was even still up for it, if you change your mind, I'll figure out a way.
Now
He
would definitely need you now, though.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta get the bitch, because
I done turned the card in, nigga. But my dad's from New York, so he feel like my dad, even though he's older, he feel like his mouthpiece is still gaming. Right. To him, it don't go away as a New Yorker. So but that was essentially the moment. Yeah.
I couldn't imagine looking my kids in the eyes and be like, so,
bro,
I got this chick over here.
I used to wipe your ass.
And maybe if I wasn't like having sex, and everything, I was at 19, I was kind of like firing on cylinders. Between like 16 and like 17, early 18, I was kind of like, I had like one or two here and there. At 19, between like 19 and like 25, I was just like, it was like a snowball.
That's when you're in college, right?
Yeah. And so it was going crazy.
My 16 to 18 was one. I can count on one hand, maybe.
Yeah.
And then 19?
Yeah.
Nigga?
Yeah.
19 was when by 21 I lost count.
Yeah.
In those 2 years.
I was like 24.
I don't know. It's a blur.
Yeah. It is. For sure.
It just won't. Everybody's wilding. Everyone in that age is wilding out.
And they want to. They're sexually liberated.
Yeah, you're trying to figure it out. You can do what you want. You have your own.
It's a language almost. It's like a language.
And it's understood that everybody in this bar or everybody in this
trying to fuck.
That's what we're doing.
And it's like that's the thing. And it's just
made the best man win.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's essentially that at that point. So it's not even like, yo, let's be friends. It's just like, yo, like, so what do you want to do tonight? It's like, cool. And it's like, yo, I smashed. I was able to get this particular person. And you might, because I remember at that particular time, when I was smashing chicks, it was cool. Even for them, it's just like, we smashed it. You might have a roster where you keep them on for a while. But for them, it's kind of like, all right, cool. I'm trying to get to the next nigga now. Like, I got you. Now I'm trying to get, this cat over here.
Until he said that right now, it just made me realize what part of the game was. Was that because everybody was on the same energy? Like, I got to beat out everybody else.
But that's not even that's always been kind of my sort of hindrance on like that whole like club realm, like that whole world. Cause I was never like, I wasn't gonna be aggressive. I'm like, if a bitch choose me, then we can have a conversation. Yeah. So, but then there is a school of dudes who are aggressive, and they have success too. So it's kind of a cool little.
The aggressive dudes were helping me.
Oh, by being
too much.
Yeah.
I was the nigga.
The cool.
I was always that nigga that was more the quiet dude. Like, why ain't you talking?
Yeah.
So what's your story?
Exactly. You be like,
and you shit face.
But also at that time for me, at that age, social media was brand new. Like MySpace was popping, and like Black Planet was popping, and we were using those to our disposal too. And the amount of women that me and my brother and two of my other friends were like just getting women from like Black Planet, it was like this shit was becoming too easy. And that's when not dating apps, because there wasn't no apps at the time, but like dating sites at the time were popping up. So we would be on some of those. It was just like, yo, like this shit is easy work. And then there was a point in time we were like, all right, cool, we're gonna only go after older women, and we started only going after older chicks. But the age from like 30, we was like what? We was 19, 21, 20 years old. We was only putting in 30 to like 50 years old. And we was knocking down 45-year-old women, 40-year-old women. It was just like, this is I risked my life. I went to the hood.
What sites? I don't remember sights at that age.
At that particular age, maybe not like 21, but like a little bit young. Maybe like 23. Like there was, I think the early like eHarmonies was starting to pop up at that particular point in time.
Yeah, Black Panther and all that stuff was. I remember my brother being on that shit.
I did in MySpace, and that was it.
Yeah, but even with Black Planet, like Black Planet was good because you could still put the age in there too. And that's why we would kind of find older women in there too. It's like there was older women on Black Planet, and you know if they'll be on there kind of with the titties out, we'd say something like you are you know, some beautiful type shit. Like damn,
like what type shit?
This is like this is how you hit with the damn you sexy. And it's just like they'll come back and be like, oh boy, stop playing, you too young. It's like, I'll show you young. And now
dick pic.
And then I wouldn't say dick pic like that. Just be like, oh, are you gonna show me young? Right. All right, what's up with it? And then when they call your bluff on it, you're like, well, where you located? I'm over here in this area. That's like
so it's like a fight. Like you're setting up a fight.
Big Daddy Donald, man. And essentially was like, yo, you know, at that age, you like, nigga, if a girl an hour away, nigga, that wasn't shit to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was just like, so
I live in this travel area. Back then. I was stupid.
Nigga, an hour meant nothing. You was on and Dora, you was rolling.
You wasn't even driving. Dick driving the whole car. You got to get. That was a different energy.
That was fun. That drive to that long drive to the house with Dick hard,
bro.
That shit was fun. But then you get in the house, is she on some other shit for like the first 30 minutes? And you're like, god damn.
I just talked about this yesterday really? On my post because I forgot what the.
It posted about like why you don't want to come over post.
Yeah. Why men don't want women to come over. And so.
Wait, what's the why?
There were several reasons.
Great reasons too.
Really?
Great reasons.
You know, your peace, safety, all those things. But somebody in the comments said something about.
Oh yeah. Gotcha.
Somebody in the comments said something about a girl. He said it's ego. They don't want to feel. The reason why they want to come over because it's an ego thing. They don't want to feel whatever. And I was like, I remember there was this one girl. She used to be like, I'm not coming over here just to have sex. And I'm like, that's
why you're coming over here.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I would put on King of Queens or whatever. Mm-hmm. We'd watch an episode and then fuck. Because in her mind, I hung out for a little first. Mm-hmm. I'm like, bitch, you came over for dick.
Like, she's even explaining to her friends. It's like, yo, so what happened with you and Keon? It's like, he's come over and be like, nah. We watched some TV. And all of a sudden, we watched TV. All of a sudden, we just started. It just happened.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know what really happened.
It's the optics of self-respect.
Right.
It's like he respects me enough to at least sit through this 23-minute sitcom.
But I think also in their eyes,
it makes no sense. And I remember I called her out one day. I said, so because we watched King of Queens, you feel better?
Yep.
And she was like, yeah, because like, I didn't just come over here and you just didn't fuck me. And I'm like,
yeah.
Right, well, also too, when you talk to them,
it's like, all right, well, my bad. Go ahead.
But real quick, it's like when you talk to them, it's like they want you to have respect for them. And it's just like, it's not that we don't
I
have
don't.
Well, it's that.
Yeah.
But it can be that, but it can also be like, I do have respect for you, but I know what I'm still coming over here for. Like, this doesn't stop anything. I have a goal in mind. And
my thing is, you know why you come over here. That was the annoying part. When she said it, I'm like, but that's literally why you go. And then the time she did complain, I was new to comedy, brand new to comedy. And I had a show that day at 7. She shows up at like 6. So, nigga, know I have to leave.
I got like 30 minutes in there.
You know, and she still was like, well, I didn't come over. Yes, you did. You knew I had to leave as soon as this. So we get done, and I'm like hurrying up and getting dressed. She was like, you don't have to rush out so fast. I'm like, bitch, yes, I do. You knew. I had to leave. Like, it was just, the shit she did in her brain was just baffling to me.
I'm going to tell you, me and Jess got into an argument a couple weeks ago, and I said this in my head, and I was like, nigga, if you say this out loud, it's a wrap. I said it. I was like, I don't know if you were just like, your hormones are just fucked up. I don't know if I'm even talking to a person or, you know what I mean? Cause like we're having a conversation, we're having a discourse, but I think I'm talking to a human.
Yeah.
But like, you know, her emotions and her chemical makeup is all, like everything is all in balance, but she still talks as though like she's like blah, 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 like she's still saying words. Yeah. So I'm receiving it as though there's words coming from a human, and I'm shooting back, and then the shit she's saying is just not making any sense. So I'm like, okay, dude, am I even talking to a human? Like, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm not trying to be condescending.
Right.
But she was like, yes. She was like, of course my hormones are all fucked up and I don't know what I'm saying and I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm like, you just feel a thing. You just want to feel a thing. Yeah. So I've kind of resigned myself to like, women just want to feel a certain way.
It goes back to what you always say, emotion.
It doesn't have to make sense to us or to you. But like, hey, that's her thing. I'll watch King of Queens, and then I get dick down, and then I snuggle for 5 minutes. But I was gonna say maybe you should have offered like, okay, look, we don't need to watch King of Queens.
Instead, I wasn't gonna. I can't do this. Okay.
Instead, no, not cuddle. Instead, we'll just start really slow, and that'll build up.
And then, you know what the most frustrating part was? Nigga, it ain't like we.
She liked it. She liked it really.
Nigga, she was wild as hell. Wild as
That's
hell.
why. That's why.
I'm like,
that's exactly why.
I'm like,
that's exactly why.
Really?
Yeah.
And I know what you're about to do.
That's a palate cleanser. Yeah. She had to cleanser. She has to cleanse her palate before she jumps into that shit.
Annoying.
That's hella funny. Yeah.
I'll tell y'all. It was one time. Even I was like, "Are you? Come on! Like, why is this happening?" And you're the same girl that says we got to watch episode TV.
Yeah.
This is
you don't even like this show.
You hate this show. Who was the main character? I watched the show. I know Doug.
She just watching the show getting wet. But that's what I was thinking.
I should have known she was weird anyway because we were supposed to do this back when I was like 19. Mm-hmm. And it didn't happen. She's come out, hang out. It never happened, right? I go away to school. I come back. We run into each other again.
Yeah. And
then she basically like shoots her shot again. And then she with the shit. Maybe she was older. Maybe she more comfortable. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then it happened for like a few times. And then I was just like, all right, nigga, like.
Yeah, it was the same girl. I met this girl in high school, and then like a few years later, I was like around that 21 age when I was wild. I remember she came over. She just hit the whole like, she's like, I didn't come over just to have sex and And I was and me at that point, I wasn't the type of dude like, come on. I was never that nigga. I was just like, I said, all right. I just rolled over. Yeah. And she was like, all right, I know what I came for. And then it took her like 2 to 3 minutes, and we just it got crazy. But it was just like, it's just like, she just like, and then we talked the next morning afterwards. Like, we went out to grab something to eat before she left. And then she was just like, I don't even know why. She's like, I just wanted to feel respected. She was like, she said, I don't want to mess with you for an X amount of time. It's just like, why did I even stall you for that long?
I'd be like, what is the point of this dumb shit?
Yeah, and then but we also too, we gotta understand, we can't expect women to be like us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's some out there that are for sure like that, for sure. But it's like, for the most part, they do need that buffer, and it's just like that's why I stopped tripping on that when I was younger. I was just like, all right, I'll play the games. I know I'm gonna get.
I was so stubborn sometimes. I would miss out on pussy.
Really?
To put my toes. I remember this girl showed up at my house one time, nigga. 1 a.m. Mind you, it ain't like she lived. It ain't like she was on my side of town. She lived 5 to 7 minutes away from me. But you leave a club drunk and you show up at my house. Oh, I just need somewhere to sleep it off. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. You live down the street, and so I was so annoyed at that sentence. She's like, don't try anything with me. And she gets in bed, gets naked, nigga. When I tell you I rolled over, and I was so annoyed, nigga. I wasn't turned on at all. And she wanted me to fuck.
Is she trying to?
Yeah.
She was like, wait, I can tell. You know somebody's up.
Yeah.
Nigga, when I laid there with my back turned.
Did you sleep?
And the only reason why I let her stay because I didn't want her to get back in her car because she was pretty drunk.
Yeah.
And I was like, she made it here by the grace of God.
Yeah.
You don't need to be driving anywhere else. And I did not do it. And the next morning, she was like, oh, you really didn't try nothing? I was like, nigga, no. No, get your shit.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I was, you know how you would say that? Like, I would always be like, I would kind of know that something was supposed to go down, but in my mind, if a girl's like, yeah, I just want to come over and hang out, I'm like, okay, yeah, she just want to come over and hang out. And like, I wouldn't put any expectations on it just in case like shit went awry or I said the wrong thing. Right. So anytime like somebody came over,
well,
and I wouldn't be disappointed. Exactly.
It depends on the time frame too. If I had a homegirl or girl was just like, yo, we doing enough want to come over like hang out. It was like 1 p.m.
Yeah.
It was like, and I might even have like a 3 p.m. class, or she might even have whatever, or I had to work, whatever it is. I'd be like, all right, my anticipation for I mean, that was probably me because I wasn't a daytime fucker like that. I mean, I could get it in, but my best fucking was definitely at night.
Daytime's a good time.
It changed a little later on, but like I remember, it's like so if they would come around like 1 p.m. to just hang out. I was more in that mindset like, all right, just come to probably actually hang out. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to even be like, so what's up? Like,
it didn't matter the time for me. If a girl told me like I'm coming over, I'm wearing lingerie, all this, and I'm like, oh, she just coming over, she's wearing lingerie, she wants to talk. That's fine. She just wants to hang out in lingerie.
You know what's funny? I didn't like daytime hangouts because I felt like
it was too intimate.
Yeah, like why you just coming to hang out with me, and then you know.
I love that you have like a fairly clear view of the dynamic between men and women of like how we are not meant to like mesh like that. Like we come over to that one. What you gonna play video games with me? What the fuck you over here for?
What are you doing? And then like we ain't got class, we ain't got no homework to do. You know,
what we gonna do?
Why are you here?
And that would be a solid excuse at that point. If you're in college and she's like, yo, because some people had that. If you had the same class, like you want to come over and study, whatever the case may be. My brain is not going to necessarily immediately go to like, all right, she's trying to get some, right? All right, she's trying to actually study. Now things can lead from there, but same thing. And maybe even that sense of like, if she comes over late at night, she might be like, yo, we got a test like at 8 a.m. My nigga, we need to cram.
Right.
You might be like, all right,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about.
But the no reasons, I'd be like, why?
At this age now,
and I would lean into it because I know the game. I know they're just fucking playing games, and I would just be like, all right, yeah, I'll lean into your little game.
See, I didn't
play a little stupid game.
I was always, and I would eventually get them to do it. Like I remember I was talking to a girl who I ended up smashing, and she was doing the game, and I was like, and this is before the saying got popular, and I was like, if you want to fuck, just say that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I want to fuck. I was like, just come on.
How did she say it like that? I want to fuck.
We was on the phone. She said like, wasn't confident.
Yeah.
I was like, if you want to fuck, just say that. She was like, I want to fuck. I would pull up.
I would have been like, say it again.
I hear you.
But you can tell, like,
what? Huh?
You know how you can hear somebody.
I want to.
You know how you hear somebody smile on the phone?
Yeah.
I can hear it. Like, I want to.
And then you should have been like, felt good to say that, didn't it?
You got it out.
But I forgot what I said after.
How do you feel? How do you feel? Live your truth.
I think I said something like, that's so hard.
That's so hard.
Now I'm hard.
And then she was like, oh, I was like, all right then. I was like, so what do you want to come do? She was like, I ain't doing it. I was like, then.
Oh, shit.
But I was talking just like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
You know, it's funny to even go back to what you said about the whole playing the game thing. There were times too where just like when I know you're playing the game that hard, I'm just like, I get competitive. It's like, you're not gonna beat me now. Now I don't want to fuck you. So now when you turn over and start grabbing me, I'm like, yo, I'm going over here. I'll change positions. I'm going to watch some TV in the living room. Like
the only reason why I would play the game is because it was too risky to sort of break down the fourth wall and call out the game. Mm-hmm. It was too risky to me. Like I'm like, I'd rather just play the game and either get some or not, rather than call it out, because I felt like that created sort of a not a hostile situation, but it just kind of created conflict. Where we're supposed to be trying to fuck.
Well, essentially, that can put you in a position to lose the pussy.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, it rarely happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what my ratio was super, super high even if I called it out.
Yeah, I'd never taken the risk, so I don't even know. But so you still had success?
I would say I had a majority of it was successful. It was
great success.
That's good to know.
Great success. I like sex. It's nice.
It was very rare that it didn't happen because it goes back to what they said. It was just like, I was like, this is what you want to do the whole time. It's kind of like, well, yeah. I was like, I don't look at you any different. I was like, you hit him with I'm not like every other guy. I'm not looking at you as a whore because you want to just come over and have sex with me.
We're at this age. This is what we do at this age.
I was like, at the end of the day, I didn't say this out loud, but at the end of the day, I was like, I don't see you as a wifey anyway.
And I think that's the biggest fear
of them.
For them, yeah.
For sure.
But here's the thing: at that age, a lot of them ain't looking for no husband either.
I know, but you still don't want to be completely like eliminated from the idea of like, because it's
even girlfriend. No,
yeah.
The whole topic now, when you hear a lot of hot topics, it's like, yo, your people's body count, and if they have 2 hours body count, they're not wifey and stuff like that. So it's like that stuff does bother them. Unlike us, even though we go like, they don't care. It's like a lot of them do care, or a lot of them subconsciously care. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, especially at that particular age, it's just like if it starts to go around that she smashed Keon, Gary, and Keenan, it's just like Now dudes might not want to mess with her like that. So she has to make it to where it's like, no, we didn't just have sex. Like
it was a relationship. He respected me.
We had like a house date. It was like kind of like we dated for a second. That's why they tell people we wasn't fucking. It's like, no, we were dating. And then in your head you go, no, I never dated you.
Was your first sexual experiences like with girlfriends or just like you were just hooking up with girls? My first sex, I had a girlfriend.
The first girl I lost my virginity to was my girlfriend.
And how long were y'all together?
Not long at all. It was like literally she was the aggressor. Like I was in class and she turned around and was like, "You're fine. Like I want you to be my boyfriend."
Yeah.
And I was just like, all right. I mean, my dad was like, man, see, he's like, you talking nigga like a bitch choose you, nigga. Like, I mean, the girl supposed to choose you, but he was like, bitches run your relationship. I can just tell, nigga. I can just tell.
Wow.
He said that to me at a young age. And I was like, no, they don't.
That nigga's a character, bro. He's a character. He's a character.
You know, but he was just like, but she did. She turned around. She was younger than me too. She was a freshman. I was a junior. Mm-hmm. And we was in math class. She was like in the upper math class, and she was just like,
how are her grades?
Huh? Her grades. She had good grades. She had really good grades. She played volleyball. She was a support team.
Yeah.
So she actually be her boyfriend, and then y'all had sex?
No, she was just like, I want you. And now I was between two girls. It was a girl, another girl that I like, a kind of a hood chick that I was kind of messing with, and we weren't having sex. But I would like, be fingering her. Yeah. And
fingering.
I was trying to have sex with the hood chick, but she was technically cheating on me with another dude. Okay. And so she was smashing him but letting me finger her. Oh. And I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna mess with this girl instead. And so her and I at the time we started messing around, and then was she
a virgin too?
She was. The hood chick wasn't, but the girl that
you lost your virginity to was also a virgin?
Yeah, she was a virgin. So like we ended up messing around.
Y'all both in there fumbling.
Well, no, I mean, I guess technically, but like we were. I would sit there and say I watched a solid amount of porn. And I don't think, I guess you would have to ask her. I don't think it was terrible, but I don't think I wasn't amazing, of course.
Or was your dad coaching you on a godlike? No, son!
My dad did say that one time when I used to have girls over the house, and, I was smashing chicks, and my room would be next to his. And,
oh my God. Oh my God.
And they would leave, and he would be like, hey, nigga, like, I didn't
hear nothing.
I didn't hear anything.
He wild. He wild. He's like, I didn't like the sequence and the rhythm of the headboard banging against like that. Nigga, you ain't got no yet. Where's your build?
And I remember telling my dad, I was just like, nigga, like every girl that comes over here that I smash, they're not trying to be loud on purpose. Idiot. Like you're here.
Yeah.
Am I fucking in the room? And I was like, I mean,
I can leave.
I was like, this is your house, so I can't tell you to leave, nigga. But like at the end of the day, they're not gonna ever fully let go because you're here.
Right.
They're already feeling weird that they have to smash me anyway. This wasn't out with you, but
I've never actually had that. It was one time, but I didn't know my dad was there, and she didn't know either. This is when me and Keith had the apartment, and this girl hollering. But I'm thinking ain't nobody there. I didn't know my dad had stopped by to see us.
Yeah.
So me and her come out the room, and Keith and my dad are sitting there. Nigga, when I tell you I've never been more uncomfortable.
Oh, man.
And it's not because of Keith. Keith's been there through it all. But my dad, and I was just like.
And my dad has never been on the outside like, waiting for me like, son, so we need a report.
Right.
It's always been like, he's been he'll normally go in the room, or he will be in the living room, and then he'll know when we're probably like, or when we're finished, he'll probably go into the room afterwards. But I will say it kind of sucks, like, probably not for us, but for women, there's been times where, like, even when I used to say my brother, my boy Rick, it was like when women would leave the room, they had to walk, they had to walk past them, and they'd be like, hey.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, it's embarrassing. And it's just like, for us, it's like, man, come on, get out of here. But it's like,
yeah, but the sounds I was making.
Exactly.
Yeah, the whole house heard.
Exactly.
I was embarrassed for her, because I know if I felt the way, she felt the way. Because it wasn't, she was going all out.
Right.
And I just was like, and she probably was like, oh my God, in front of your father. Like, in front of your
Damn.
And she knew my brother was there. She ain't tripping on my brother.
And I lived with Keon before. And I remember Keon was just like, Keon came out and was like, that's loud, bro.
That one girl, she was so loud.
She's like, she was doing too much. And I was so
loud. This is the funny part about it.
Like, how can you even say that, though?
I have an alarm, right? I have an alarm system. So he's trying to sneak this girl like a fucking child through the garage. Nigga, I hear beep, 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 garage door open. I was like, nigga, somebody just came in. You know what I mean? Then I hear the girl, blah blah. She leave, beep, beep, garage, and I was like, Nigga, she was so fucking loud.
He's like, he was like, nigga, it was so loud.
It was so
that it was like, it
loud.
wasn't, I don't even
She was disrespectfully loud.
Yeah. Oh, that's hella fun.
And I remember telling her, I was just like, yo, she came out, I was like, you know, hey.
Me by myself, not disrespectfully loud. Me and my whole family.
Yeah.
You are disrespectful.
Keelan was
the youth,
child.
Yeah.
I have a wife. Like, you are so.
They're youth in this house.
The sound machine's on.
Single man.
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga. Hey, she was a bitch.
Yeah,
but I was like,
do you? Okay, hold on. I gotta ask Keenan now. Do you feel like she was like unnecessarily loud, or was you really putting that? Was you putting the proper work in?
I feel like I was having a great session.
Okay. Okay. Because the nigga just disrespected your whole nigga. It's like, I don't give a fuck what you were doing in there. She shouldn't have been that loud.
He was so loud.
But I would say that particular person, was what I would say kind of probably considered a nympho.
Okay.
And that was the type of person I was like, oh, I can't keep up. That's when I was like, I think I need a nympho. Then I had when I was like, I can't keep up with her. There's no way I can keep up with her. And she was on one. She was just like, I'm gonna destroy you. Nigga. Like, you think this is?
I love the competitive nature of your fuck sessions. Like, it's like always, Really?
Some people it's not. Some people are just like, I think some women are just like, no, I like to be dominated in that sense. Where it's just like, yeah. Some girls just like, nigga, you think? Oh, you got me the first time. This is the second round. Yeah. I'm going to destroy you round 2 now. I see what you did.
What does that look like? What does that?
I got you.
What does that mean? What does a woman destroying a man mean for them?
I think they want us. I've had
just coming fast.
I've had some of those. It's not just coming fast, but they want to see the
squeal, and they want to see you squeal.
They want to see if I can make. They want us to be like, fuck, like you. There was nothing.
Okay.
You know, they took your they
take
that away.
Yeah. When you get the
shit. Like, they can see a toe curl, or you begging nigga. Cause I had one like that, and you know, remember the one?
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah. Like, I'll never stop.
Yeah.
She was like that, and I was like, and then I remember Keith used to get so annoyed. And I think at the time he wasn't getting none. That's why he got mad. He's like, "Is she over every day?" She's like, "I was fucked. Y'all be fucking 6 times a day." Blah blah. Because once he got his girl, he didn't care no more. Nigga.
Yeah.
But to this point, I get it. Like he's like, "She always over here. She don't pay no fucking rent." I was like, "You right, nigga?" Like. But he was more mad. He wasn't getting that because she was extra, nigga. She was so extra. And all we did, we was smashed. Every time she was over there, it wasn't even like no boyfriend and girlfriend. We were fucking so much. It was just like,
might as well be together.
Leave,
yeah.
Why? Yeah. We're gonna do it again in 30 minutes, and we're gonna do it in an hour. So just. But I would keep. We were in the living room. She was in my room.
Yeah.
But I think he just got tired of her, just hearing me having a good time. He was just like, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah. So I mean, but I always feel like it's weird because I don't want them to be loud too for the you know
the theatrics of it.
Low key, I was never the guy that's just like, yeah, I want people to hear me destroying shit. I never was that dude. You know what I'm saying? I never was the guy who was just like, yeah, that niggas hurt me. I was beating down. I was just like, oh my gosh, because it's like, to me it was kind of embarrassing. Even though on the I guess the other end it's kind of like, people are like, nigga, man, you was killing it. It was just like it was always like.
Which is interesting because, like, killing it ain't always, you know what I mean? There's so many levels to it. Sure. So I could be killing it, nigga. You not hearing nothing. You know, but I don't get my respect. But I don't give no respect in the house. You know what I mean? It's fucked up.
I could be killing it and you don't hear a word.
A word.
And she in there with full tears.
Yeah.
Emotional.
She's in there passed out. She's not even conscious.
Yeah.
That's how I killed it.
And some girls might put on the act of loudness because they think that's what we think
we need. Right.
So it's like, I think once you learn to, from as much success that you have, it's just like, in some cases that could be that.
Yeah.
But that's not every person. Some people are quiet and just like, because it's like,
that's why what I used to do, a thing that I used to do is I used to tell them, like, shut up. Like, shut the fuck up. Because then if you get a response after telling them to shut the fuck up, that's genuine. That's genuine. They couldn't hold that in.
Right.
That came out. That was all organic.
Yeah. You got to be quiet.
Yeah.
And they
can't.
I can't.
Just be quiet.
That's when you go in your head like,
There's been two signals for me when I know, nigga, I won. It's that when you do that and they can't. And this freaked me out though. The emotions of it all. If they cry, I remember the first girl who ever cried on me. She tried to hide it.
Nigga said that with so much suspense.
She tried to hide it from me. She did it, and I was like, my dumb ass, I'm young. I'm not even considering to be, what's the word I'm looking for? To be
sensitive and empathetic.
I was like, are you crying?
He's like, you crying? Get the fuck out of my house.
See how the emotional range is horrible.
I was like, are you crying? She was like, no, I was sweating, and then, are you crying? And she was like, no.
You kicked her out.
No, I let her, I
let her gather herself.
I let her gather herself.
I knew you kicked her out.
We finished, blah, blah, and she left like normal. I walked out, everything. And I told him, Robert, man, this bitch was crying. He was like, oh, nigga, she liked you. Like,
she like you?
He was like, and that made me be like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like,
yeah.
I gotta get out of here. Like, you can't be. And I think that's why she tried to hide it, because she wanted to have a good time, but she was like, if this particular nigga sees this, he's done.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't need that. I don't need that in my life. Like, I don't need.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times,
what that could lead to.
Once women get to that particular point in the sexual experience, you hit a different spot where she's just like.
Yeah.
She might even be in love at that point. She could never say it because she knows.
I was like, I'm good.
I think there's something there to every man who like a woman like has sex with, like that sort of connection there, because you let somebody inside of you essentially. Right. I think there is something that like lingers.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's why we say like men and women are different in that sense. Where it's just like when women we can do it just like y'all. It's like you can't. It's not biologically. Yeah. You can't. You're letting somebody inside of you. It's a whole different experience.
I ain't never tried, nigga. Yeah. Never became close.
I mean, I've cheered up being like, yeah, but like it's never been to where like you said, like, he's just like, oh my god, like what's happening? Like it's never been that experience. And I'm not saying that can't happen for men because it's like there's soul ties, there's
right.
There's different type of things. There's like what am I thinking? I can't think of the word for right now, but I can't think of the fucking lingo for it. But for women, it's like a lot of times when you're having sex with a woman, sometimes you'll find new spots that they've never been found before, or they're not experienced sexually. They only had one sexual partner. That partner never hit. They're gonna be like, nigga, you did something that I need this, or the first thing you might make that woman orgasm for the first time for real. Because you talk to a lot of women, they'll tell you like sometimes they can count as many orgasms they had. They'll be like only 3 guys that I've had sex with out of the 25 guys that I had sex with made me orgasm. Like that's a real thing for them.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're one of those 3 to 5 or whatever it is, she might be like, nigga, like she might have love for you or be like,
I'm not saying that girl. Because I asked her about it. I said, what happened?
Yeah.
And she was like, honestly, I just lost control of my emotions. Like, I was mid climax. I'm having a good time. Like and I just. Women they got hormones.
It's emotions, man.
And she was like, I just lost. I lost control of them. Yeah. I lost control of them. Because she wanted to reassure me, like I'm not, obsessed with you or anything. Or
that's fucked up.
I lost control, and I was like, that's fine. Like,
that's fucked up to constantly like have to be in a position to where you're just like on the defensive, like no, I don't like you. I promise, I don't like you. Like you know what I mean?
What's crazy?
It's kind of like damn.
It is, but it ain't if you know that going in. Like I said,
right.
I never lied. I never. So you're an adult. You signed up for this. You know that going in. And if you change over time, that's on you, and you have the freedom to remove.
But it's an interesting predicament to be in because it's like I know exactly what I signed up for. I had all intentions on not, but I'm a woman. I'm I don't want to say emotional, but like. The chemistry of it and the way that we connect and the way that I feel, I can't help it. But now it's like, okay, I can either lose the little thing that we have by expressing myself, or I could just continue to try to. And maybe someday, at some point, the nigga like you.
That's the thing, though. And I will say,
maybe.
And that particular aspect is like, that's kind of even messing for us to really say, like, well, we're adults. Like, you already made a decision. Like, it's on you. It's like, but we're as dudes. Like, it's like I said, it ain't the same.
It's not the same.
You start having sex with a woman a certain way, or especially if you calling them over multiple times to have sex with them, and the way you're actually fucking them, they're like, this nigga's fucking me like he loves me. And in your head, it's like, you might just be like, just hop up.
Yeah.
And in their head, it's like, the 3 dudes that smashed her didn't fuck her that way. And so, she like you said, she came in with the intentions of like, nigga, we on the same boat. Right. But it's just like, she's like, nigga, I can't even help that I'm feeling this way.
Right, exactly.
I'm trying, I can't even help it, but it's starting to happen. Right. And it's just like,
I definitely was trying to fuck.
Yeah.
But that's, again, our fathers do numbers on us. And mine told me, always do it for them. Try to be the best person, unself, all that shit. So I would do it like, I want you to know, nigga, this is the best year. Now, granted, you're 23. You're 22. You're young, 25. You don't even realize later in life, nigga, some nigga's gonna beat you. Like that's just what it is. But at that point, like you said, because everybody else is so bad, you're halfway decent.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
I know we gotta wrap up soon, but I forgot the terminology of this. I gotta look it up. I saw a video, but it was like a video about how there's a word for guys that are like pleasers first.
Mm-hmm.
And it's there is? Yeah, it's like a term for it.
Bitch ass niggas.
Which is definitely what we would have called niggas. But honestly, I was that. I was like, I wouldn't even call it that. I was definitely like, I guess, like that's why women were like, they always ask me after we had sex, or sometimes before that, they were like, what sign are you again? I'm like, I'm a Scorpio. They're like, ooh, I could tell that you was a Scorpio. The way you kind of went about, you wanted to make sure this was a sexual experience.
That's very interesting.
And that's kind of how, and that's how I guess a lot of women view Scorpio men.
Yeah.
Or even probably Scorpio women too. It's like they're very strong lovers in that sense.
Yeah.
It's like they're pleasers in a bedroom. Is what's being said. And it's like that's kind of how it was. It's like it's in that sense. It's like, yo, it don't make sense for me to have sex and I have an orgasm and you don't.
Right.
And a lot of dudes have that. And
I don't know that mentality. I don't really understand it.
What do you mean?
Like I'm about to get mine. If that bitch she comes, she comes.
I'm
getting mine.
I don't get
but it's weird because none of us are like that.
Right.
And I don't know if that's why we like come together or something. You like pleasing bitches? Let's start a podcast.
But it's like I think it's kind of crazy to where it's just like when you talk to a lot of women, it's just like, yeah, this guy literally just jackrabbed me for a hot 10 and buffed off and was just like he thought he killed him. It's like the sound sounded like he killed it. The smacking sounded great. It was just like, yo, I didn't even enjoy that. Someone can enjoy sex without having an orgasm.
Oh, absolutely.
But she was like, I didn't enjoy that portion.
I guess I just don't understand it because like if you want them to come back, you have to please.
And that is
I don't understand.
But we have bad teachers. Porn is a horrible teacher for like, and the porn that we were exposed to at the young age.
For sure.
Now you can watch couples in love fucking in the way that they, but like, it's different now.
Cody like, people like they look like they really like
each other. Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Look at that ass. But she likes watching couples that look like they are in.
It's another mood thing. There's sometimes I've seen some of those porns and I didn't know it was that, but like I saw like you could tell like they were more sensual in their sex. I was just like, this shit seems, that shit seems sexy as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's just like, in some cases you just want that beat down session, but in some cases you just like, you kind of want the slow sensual. You might want to like see them kind of kissing. So like, I was a kissing nigga. I was like,
I'm with you.
Yeah, I love kissing chicks.
Yeah.
Especially like if I had some type of attraction. Because sometimes you be like, I'm sexually attracted to you from the back. Like you got ass, I want to beat you down. But it was just like there was some chicks I was just like, nah, this is fine. And even though she just here for the dick, it's just like, I'm gonna kiss this. I'm gonna kiss this bitch a lot, like a lot. And it's just like, so you kissing the hell out of her,
Hey, way to make kissing sound like fucking. Like I'm gonna kiss the fuck out of this bitch, like, boy.
Like, I'm kissing that. I'm gonna be kissing, and essentially. Kissing is more intimate and a lot of than sex. So you kissing with a lot of like tongue and lip sucking and stuff like that, and you just like like. then when she essentially when she sees it, like she's like, wait a second, niggas already having sex, but they don't be kissing me like that.
Yeah.
This nigga.
You're like, bitch, I kiss.
Yeah.
I told you before you came here. I was like, bitch, I'm kissing the fuck. When y'all had your little conversation, your little competition, you don't know what to do with me, bitch. I know I'm gonna kiss you. I know I'm gonna kiss the fuck out of you.
So, and that's it. When you do that, some women don't experience that. Or I was the type of nigga too. I used to like kissing bitches all over their body. You know what I'm saying? So when you kiss a bitch all over their body, shut the fuck up, nigga.
No, I'm only laughing because when you do that, sometimes you experience stuff you weren't even like aware of. Like, nigga, you didn't wash your bra. You been wearing this bra.
This titty salty, nigga.
This shit salty. It's a little hint of must. How long you had this bra? You didn't wash this shit.
Has a hint of must ever stopped you though?
No.
You know what that hint of what that hint of must does, not even just the vagina odor, it like, you'll be kissing everywhere, and then as you come closer towards it, the aroma starts to become a little more pungent.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, it just, you kind of like, you kind of brush over it onto the other side, like the other leg.
Yeah.
You just kind of do a couple brushes just to get your nose used to it and to see.
Honestly, my mentality was going to at that time, when the rare times that did happen, I'll just be like, you know what? She came straight from work, so I'm not. This particular scent of like all day is understandable. Mm-hmm. If she would have took a shower and came over and it was like, all right, there's a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is all day. Walk around, maybe sit down, maybe even a few farts here and there. You know what I'm saying? Because she's been sitting at a desk all day. So it's understandable.
Yeah.
But it's like, she was like, I'm going to take a shot and I'm going to come straight over. And he comes straight over, he's like, ooh,
yeah.
This is here?
That was definitely my method. I would like wave around it, and then once I got into it, I would put hella saliva on it. Water that motherfucker down. Water it down, boy.
Wowzers.
Water it down.
Yeah. I mean, you got to end up going, right?
I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Oh shit!
Cause I have to get. It's down the street, but I got to stretch. I'm too old to just go. Yeah, I got to stretch.
Sorry, man.
No, it's all good. I have to do that because I'm flying out tomorrow.
Okay.
So I had to do this anyway. So we might as well keep going.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't y'all doing. I'll just double up tomorrow. It's fine.
Yeah, man. But
I love how we started with. Gary has a
daughter. Yeah.
These bitches need dick.